everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and today on the Typical Manga Review we're going to be going over Bleach, chapter 640, Baby Hold Your Hand 3, open bracket, Mad Lullaby number 7, close bracket.
Gee, I wonder what that means.
I don't know, I was trying to wonder if there's been any chapter called Mad Lullaby before now, to be honest, but...
Yeah, well, no one's supposed to know what it means until you read this chapter.
Yeah,
so,
number set, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We first open with a scene of someone waking up. We can't really tell who it is yet. And then another person greets this person who just woke up, saying, you finally awoken. Good morning. And then apparently this person's been given a name.
Yep.
So apparently this is the point where the person was born. Yep. And then of course we go to cover.
We also have some dialogue on there. Like, do you remember what you called the name you called me when I first awoke? I really love that name.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, as you're saying, we go into a color spread which shows all of the Stern Ritter. Which is not a bad color spread, all things considered.
Yeah, it's not. I mean...
I like it. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, it's fine. It shows... It's just... I'm just getting too much of a Nazi feeling from this. It's a little too much for me.
It is. But, it's the Quincy's.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, at least Master Masculine is dressed nice.
Yeah, Thor needs to put on a shirt.
Mm-hmm. And that one guy sniper rifle looks like a giant crutch.
Yeah, so now we have. I just realized that we have all their Stern Raiders all in one place. That everyone's been revealed now. There's no more. We haven't seen this guy anymore.
And then the chapter proper opens with Kurochuchi doing what he does best, laughing like a maniac.
Yeah, we all know he's gonna be like. This is not gonna last long.
Oh no, about 2 pages really. And then the fat baby that ate the hands explodes. Though he does make a point of noting that he deliberately created the thing without any teeth, precisely so that it wouldn't chew up Pernita and make him into pieces that would like blow him up from the inside. Yeah,
but if he also chewed Pernita up, he would probably multiply.
That's what I just said. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was cut him up to injure him, but
well, one would still result in the other.
Yeah, I mean, like injure him like permanently.
Yeah. Of course, Pernita still breaks out, this time by using a Quincy bow and arrow. And he actually kind of mocks... I do like the fact that he kind of mocks Kurochuchi here by just doing his own, like, insane laughter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he did talk about the multiply thing. I must have missed that.
Yeah.
We get to see Quincy use a bow, even though it's a really weird way of using it, because he's a hand, and it's weird.
Really, the first Quincy we see use a bow for quite some time, it's this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last person was, I guess, Basby used a crossbow. We didn't actually see a real bow until like the female Quincy's fought against Ichigo.
Yeah,
I think that's the last time. It's been a while.
I said Pernita points out that he is a Quincy. He asked Kurochuchi if he forgot that Pernita is a Quincy and fights with the bow and arrow. Of course, Mary is like, I didn't forget a thing, but it's like for the Spirit King's left arm to dress itself as a Quincy. Oh, it says Spirit King. It shouldn't be Soul King. Either way, I just never expected to hear such a shameless declaration from you.
Yeah, I think it's both anyway. But this is the point, actually, where I started noticing that Pernita's speech became more complete.
Yeah,
the sentence got better.
But not completely, because like the way it's written here is like, why calling myself a Quincy is something that is shameless.
Well, I mean, I said more complete.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect. He's still evolving, but he's obviously getting better. And he's understanding like the mocking of Mayuri. Like back then, he was just like, "Oh, you saying bad words? I don't like that." Now it's like he's understanding that the Mayuri's like insults. It's like, well, and he's actually doing comebacks now. But yeah, it's rather interesting. I'm wondering. I think I've noted a few theories as to why Pernita is able to use Quincy powers. So moving on. So anything else you want to say?
Well, not really. But at this point, like Pernita calls up 5 bows, 1 per finger, and starts just wailing down arrows on him. And Kurochuchi notices that he's attached his nerves to the arrows, so if one hits him, it's gonna actually attack him. Like the way.
Hey, good creativity. That's great. Awesome.
Yep.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
So let's see.
And Kurochuchi manages to dodge or deflect them, but then Pernita's even using his nerves to like send the misses back at him.
Yeah. And then, but then there's one that almost gets to him. And of course, not surprisingly, Nemu saves the day and has to cut her off her arm because she touched the arrow.
Yep.
Or not cut off, but rip off.
Yep. Well, no, she uses her blade.
Yeah, and actually, none else, not surprisingly for me. Oh, did she use a braid?
Yeah, look at her left hand in that scene. She
Oh,
got a blade.
okay. I thought that was her arm that she just ripped off. Okay. Okay, yeah, I see the arm now. I see the actual.
Yeah. And then Kuratsuchi like gets her out of the line of fire, but just pretty much like lays into her for acting without orders.
Which is not really surprising. I mean, I knew he was going to say. I knew he grew attached to her of it, And he basically said like, you don't act on your own, even if it's to save my life. And he's like, ever since Ichigo's been, Ichigo came, he's been influencing you, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, but before that, he also calls her by her full name or
like Nemori Nanago, which is like sleeper number 7.
Yeah, and she's like I guess shocked by that. And he talks about how he doesn't basically want to make another Nemu. Like he does, I don't want you to raise up because at this point she's evolved enough that because of all the interactions she's had with people, especially Ichigo's group, and I think he actually appreciates that because he doesn't want to have to go through the entire process all over again with another Nemu. And he just calls her, so he's like, you don't have the freedom to sacrifice your life. Your life will only end when I deem appropriate. And then he's like, now that I've cleared that up, Risei. So I guess that's
Rise.
Rise. Never mind. Yeah, damn it. I was thinking of Persona Risei for some reason. Rise. Yeah. Oh, damn.
And that's pretty much where the chapter ends. So she's getting ready to. She says she's seeing the error of her ways, and she gets up to fight now. Or at least join in.
Yeah. When I first looked at something like Risei, like because the freaking Persona 4, I was watching some of it, so I was thinking, my head was thinking Risei, and I was like, oh, why does she have 2 different names now? I'm like, oh, Rise, there we go.
Yeah.
Damn it, too much. I've been watching too much anime shit.
Have you ever played the Persona games?
Yeah, I played all 4.
Oh, okay, I haven't beaten them, but I played 3 and 4. So.
I didn't. I mean, I got 4 back when it just came out. So I was actually kind of. I mean, I wasn't surprised when it got so big, but I didn't know it would get this big.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's like, yeah, I've seen the error of my ways, blah 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 blah.
And that's where the chapter ends, basically.
And everyone's going like, "Aw, Mayuri's grown a bit." I'm like,
No. Nemu maybe, but not Mayuri.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nemu. Yeah, but. I mean, Nemu's always cared, and she's always cared, and she's always cared for her dad, and but it is at this point where she kind of does things differently, and which is a slight improvement, but ultimately she's still kind of devoted to the wrong person, I think, even if he's a father.
Looking at the manga stream comments, like I think the biggest reveal is that Mayuri is actually a tsundere character.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yeah,
there's also another one further down here. This is Bleach, just another day where everyone's limbs get cut off. I barely noticed because it happened so much.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. Like when I read this chapter, I noticed that I'm like another limb coming off. How surprising.
Well, the nature of this particular fight is such that we can't really be, even if it weren't a normal thing, we couldn't really be too surprised by it.
Well, we're fighting a literal limb, so
yeah.
She's a left.
Well, yeah, that too. I was thinking more about how the nerves work, but yeah, you're right.
So he has a fetish for left. Like with a Soul King, of course he would have all of his limbs cut off. It's just like that's such a cool thing to do, even to the Soul King. And of course they have their own minds. It's kind of weird.
Oh wait, it's like I was looking at another board like on TV tropes. Like one thing says like this chapter was basically Super Smash Brothers fan fiction, and as proof they have a picture of like Mario fighting like one of the hand bosses shooting lasers from every finger.
But it's also interesting to note though, like if a lot of people, people say this is character Kurosuchi, Mayuri's character. I said not really. I mean, yeah, he's starting to get attached to her, but other than that, I think that's just because he was with her for so long. I don't think as a character though, he's not like he's still abusing her. He's still saying you don't have the right to do whatever you want. So it's not. It's better, but it's not to the point where I would say that's a character I like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think he'll ever be there, but I'm just saying like let's not make it more than it is,
Yeah, at most there might be some kind of twisted concern in there, like that's what some people are wondering about. But I mean, I don't think it's not. I don't think it's not that he doesn't care at all. But Mayuri does not express love.
Yeah, it is a twisted concern. That's what it literally is. My point is that it is twisted, and
it's
that
like
we
Joker or Harley concern almost.
Yeah. It's that we shouldn't forget. I get that it's better than what he's been before, but I just want to remind everyone that we shouldn't forget that it is still twisted. And speaking of things that can twist, The guy, the left hand. Okay, so there was a couple references where he talks about how like I've always been a Quincy, and I think a lot of people were having ideas about that and then arguing that it's because technically speaking, you can argue that maybe the Soul King himself was always a Quincy in a way, because after all, he is supposedly the father of the Quincy King.
Yeah, didn't we talk about that once before?
We did just a little bit. But this is just like a kind of like another evidence that supports that. And I mean, he even argued that. Although he also said something interesting. When he said, "So now you're gaining your memories as the Soul King," which implies that the Soul King lost his memories. Because I know he was frozen still, but I didn't think he'd lose his memories.
Yeah, I was actually I missed that part. What I was almost wondering is if like he was somehow like copying who he fights, so his intellect is increasing because he's fighting Mayuri. But I don't know if that's really likely now you mention that part.
It's interesting though. Actually, I want to point out, like, it's interesting that he's evolving now, but keep in mind this guy's been around for a while. So why wasn't he evolving back then?
Yeah, I mean it could be a memory thing. Like maybe. Well, the difference is he could be now that he's back in the Soul King Palace area.
Probably because yeah, maybe one of the things. Because it was interesting to know like why is it now your memory you're evolving? Is it because you're fighting? Is it because you're facing a Shinigami? Is it because like I want a little more information on that. I think maybe we'll get that.
Yeah.
But other than that, Mad Lullaby, number 7. So also this means that she is the 7th Nemu.
Which has implications of its own to consider.
Yeah, well, there's been 6 others, I believe. I think that what happened was he killed them after they got a little too like they evolved a bit and had their own mind. I think he killed them. I think this one I think he just didn't want to do it because I think she evolved in a way that. With each influence, I wouldn't say liked, but he began to appreciate in a very twisted sense.
Yep. Oh, still there?
Yeah.
Okay. The sound just suddenly cut off completely on my end here. All right.
Anyway, so I think that's about it from what I can say.
Yeah, I said this is at least, like I said, there's not a lot of plot motion on here, but when is there? But still, there was a good chapter at least for development on the characters. Like, I actually did check to see which characters appear. There's only 3 characters in this chapter, like Mayuri, Nemu, and Pernita. The rest of the peanut butter is nowhere to be seen.
It seems like now the lieutenant actually can do something. I swear to gosh. I mean, they're just standing there, and it annoys me that they're just standing there. And we always give too much panel time to them too. If they're just gonna commentate, let's just have them on 2 small panels on the side, like they do in One Piece.
And in this case, like I said, that's definitely not happening here because Nemu's taking an active part in the fight.
Yeah, let's see how she can handle stuff. Because remember, these guys can totally trounce captains. Yep. So what kind of does she have a secret thing that Mayuri equipped her with, or because she's no average. She's not the normal lieutenant. Yep. She's not. And what else do I need to say? Well, hopefully things will get interesting. Hopefully.
Yeah. That's the idea, or at least we'll have to see how this goes. I mean, at the very least, I'm thinking next chapter we'll probably see another move and counter move, and then I don't know. How long do you think the chat fight's gonna go? Like 1 chapter, 2 more?
I don't know. I don't. Let's not predict that.
I'm saying at least 2.
I was going to mention that this is not the first time Mayuri has shown care for Nemu. He's done it before when she got I guess I'll use the word attacked by Sazile, whatever the name was.
Oh. I know what you mean. The scientist Iron Car.
Yeah, atheist spotter. Yes, Sazile. I can spell the name. I just can't say it. Arpolo. He did show a little care in that fight, but I guess it's trying to build off of that. All right, so that's about it.
Yep. Yeah, that's been our review. Bleach chapter 640. Baby Hold Your Hand 3 / Mad Lullaby number 7. Go ahead and hope you like that. So we'll have One Piece this week as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that also. Meantime, go ahead and take us away.
Bye!